I'm really worried this video I'm about to film is going to upset a few of the Kiwis who tune into my channel. Big shout out to everyone who watches from New Zealand. I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. But yeah, Joseph Parker versus Daniel Martz. I did an initial video when this news was announced, and I said that I'd look into Daniel Martz more and then make a video closer to the fight. This is that particular video. Now, before I go on to the negatives, let's start with the positives. He's a guy with numerically a good record. I think he's got 14 wins, 2 losses, and maybe a draw. He is very, very tall. His nickname is the Mountain. And it's keeping Joseph Parker active. That's pretty much where the positives stop. It's very, very good for a young fighter that Joseph Parker's being kept busy. I really like that. It's very good he's getting experience of fighting different types of fighters, tall guys, etc. In the modern heavyweight division, Fury's the champion. You've got guys like Wilder, Klitschko, such big guys. It's good to have that experience of fighting big, big men. But having watched this guy fight, I'm going to say it how I see it. He is terrible. He is terrible. My prediction in this fight is first round knockout for Joseph Parker. I would be quite surprised if Daniel Martz hears the bell for round 2. It also wouldn't surprise me if Joseph Parker finishes this fight within the first minute of the first round. Let me talk about that in more detail. Daniel Martz is, if you've ever seen Alexander Ustinov box, or if you've ever seen David Price box, let me say that this guy, Daniel Martz, makes those guys look like the reincarnation of Muhammad Ali. He's a very tall guy who quite rigidly and robotically throws the 1-2. He also is not very technically astute and sound. He throws really, really poor punches like, these and those, sorts that are going to leave him really, really open to a guy like Joseph Parker with such snappy hand speed and such snappy combinations. Daniel Martz is very offensively limited. I know he's got a few KOs on his record, but that is typical of the level of opposition he's been in with. He obviously can punch. All men of that size can punch, I guess. But he's not got any power to bother Joseph Parker. He hasn't got any power at this sort of level, not at all. His offence is quite slow, quite plodding, quite predictable, quite wide. It's rare to see. This guy has achieved a unique combination of being quite upright and robotic, but at the same time being wide with his punches and really sort of untechnical. And I just think Joseph Parker is going to cut into his defence and stop him instantly. I don't see this guy having anything to live with Joseph Parker. Anything at all. It's actually a real step down in opposition from the guys that Joseph Parker's been fighting. Let me put it this way. Cali Meehan would get rid of this bloke in a round. Jason Petway would get rid of this bloke. Brian Minto would get rid of this guy. He looks to me, at my eye, to be a very, very poor fighter based on what I've seen. I watched his performance against Grover Young. Grover Young is a sort of, I guess you could say, semi-well-known journeyman. And in that fight, Martz was something like 14-1. It appeared to my eye that Grover Young was being brought in as a journeyman to lose. And in the first round, I guess the first round, maybe Martz won that round, but you could just see his offence, that he wasn't all there, that he wasn't a sound fighter. And in the second round, sure enough, Grover Young, who's not got a good record, not a good fighter. Joseph Parker would get rid of Grover Young in a minute. Just sort of lands this sort of looping punch that just cuts straight through his guard and drops Daniel Martz heavily. We know Joseph Parker's a big puncher. He's a big puncher, and at this level, he is a very big puncher. At this sort of lower level, Joseph Parker hits like an absolute train. Expect this to be a demolition job. This is the lowest level opponent Joseph Parker's fought for quite some time, actually. This is a big step back. And I appreciate, as I say, there are positives here. It's not all bad, you know. I'd rather keep him active against lesser opposition than have him inactive waiting on a big fight. So I'm not just being critical, but this guy is, this Daniel Martz guy is very, very poor. And if you can't live with the power of Grover Young, and more importantly, if a guy like Grover Young can land clean on your chin with a power punch straight away, what is Joseph Parker going to do? I mean, the hand speed, the body work, the changing levels, the combinations, the variety of punching Joseph Parker brings to the ring, this guy won't have been in with before. You know, his jab is too slow, too weak. He's not going to be able to keep Parker at range. Parker will be inside within the first few seconds, and that'll be it. That will be that. This guy just doesn't have any business being in a ring with Joseph Parker, really. And it's going to be a big, big knockout here, quite early on. That's my prediction. You know, I've got to say it how it is. I wouldn't want to, you know, you could offer me 1,000 to 1 on Daniel Martz. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it. Let me know your thoughts on this fight. Are you looking forward to it? How do you see it going? More importantly, is there anyone out there who sees this going beyond the first round? If so, I want to hear from you, because I'm interested in case I've misjudged anything here. Thanks for watching. Big shout out to Joseph Parker and all of his Kiwi fans. It's really nice to see a nation so behind a fighter. If you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to the channel. I wouldn't want you to miss out on my post-fight vid that I'll do afterwards. Give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. Thanks very much for watching.